Good morning, everybody. Here this Wednesday, April 26th, shortly after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Great to see students like Ted, Bill, Michael, Ray, Barbara, Kathleen, Jeff, Sam, Dave, and all of our members alike inside our live trading room here once again this morning. So great to see all of us there. Great to have all of us back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. You got a very casual dress, Josh, today. Munching on some breakfast, actually, right now. It's been a nice pre-market morning altogether, though. The SAI ended up just popping up a moment ago. I ended up taking it was like a break even or a 2-cent loss on it, just in and out quick, right from the previous level I'd called out, 387 or so. Just failed to make that better run up like I was looking for. I got out actually before it even tried to make the last run up to 4 here. I was in and out kind of within a few minutes. I was like, it's not making that bigger pop like I want. Oh, at least I made the right call there. Ended up pulling back down, but it was a really good trade otherwise from earlier off of 350 when we first called it out. It was on our pre-market watch list. This stock we are very familiar with just from looking at the daily chart about a week or two ago. This is one of the several different AI trades that we ended up doing well on just pre-market or during the regular hours, just big pops and gaps. So we have to be careful. This is not a swing trade recommendation. Just take one look at what happened with the GFAI stock, right? I mean, hey, unless if you're swinging it from like $5 or $7 here early, but ended up pumping up several days. But look at where it is now. So you can't keep holding on to these types of stocks. What goes up comes back down. Big trees fall hard. So with that, let's take a quick look actually at what was it, CXAI, because CXAI, it was actually down like a little bit earlier this morning. It had a nice pop at first. We ended up doing really well on the stock more from yesterday. So let's actually recap yesterday, the move that was. This really played well off whole numbers, if anything, just to give you the skinny on this trade. We actually ended up going over this inside our live Traders Talk workshop earlier yesterday morning. All of our members inside our live trading room, Barbara, Ted, Ray, trial members like Dave. You have access to that recording that's on our website, actually on our YouTube channel right now. Go right down to youtube.com/cybertradingyou. We actually just posted a nice recorded video on our YouTube channel right here. It's actually a nice little clip of our trading room chat going over the whole live run that we caught on this trade. Just showing off some profits like students like from Alex and Michael, Sydney, Barbara, Cal, all who ended up doing really well on this trade for the CXAI. So if you're on YouTube, go right to youtube.com/cybertradingyou. And make sure you like and subscribe while you do that as well. But folks, without further ado, though, the CXAI still looks pretty interesting here heading into the market open. I was in this trade earlier, and I ended up getting like 15 cents. It was on a smaller share size. I didn't want to carry the trade into this meeting, like where I'm kind of focused on you folks here. This has got too big of a spread, too illiquid of a book for me to try and do that funny stuff. So, otherwise, I'll try and jump back in on the trade if it affords me the chance to. If it were to run up while I was doing this meeting, it would have been a bit of a shame. I didn't really miss too much. It popped up towards 1250, the closing bell price from yesterday. That will be a significant level outside the whole numbers this morning for the CXAI. So, hey. SAI, number 2 on the gainers list. CXAI, yesterday's runner, still looking kind of interesting. We'll put both of those on our watch list just to begin. All right. All right. So otherwise, what did we do well on yesterday? Obviously, the bank stocks, FRC getting smoked. And then this morning, a little bounce back up, I guess. But, PACW, we shorted into the close yesterday. The PTPI, let me at least go over PTPI here pretty quickly. Reduce the stream here. I'll get my level 4 up here in just a moment. But for PTPI, we ended up doing pretty well in this stock, more from the late morning, early afternoon. Popped up at first, I could say, then ended up making the higher lows, the build back up heading into the early to mid-afternoon here. But here's the thing, kind of similar to CXAI, this stock, and really from the last week or two, it has been playing really well off whole numbers, 4, 5, 6, etc. So loosely speaking, with this here at 6, it popped over it. Very good opportunity for an entry, a re-break over the level. This is an A-plus attempt. But if it's not making that big, larger move that you're looking for, don't try and force one, because otherwise it fell back under the level. It held clean under the level after, and then look at the reaction. Look at the end result. So that is the last thing that you want to get stuck doing. Great opportunities could turn into catastrophes, calamities, if you tend to fail to set your stops or hold on longer than you should. Going into the open today, it's actually up 11%, that being from yesterday's close. So, from the highs yesterday, from the 6th level, it's still down a lot, but it's technically up, from the close. It's got a spotty graph, though. If we're looking at the chart, it's got a pretty spotty, inactive chart. So I'm not too particular about this PTPI. I guess if anything, I could kind of write this down on my side list here right now, just at least put it on the damn notepad. All right. So otherwise, let's see what else we got, folks. We'll go from top to bottom. We'll run into the bank stocks eventually. We'll run into the crypto stocks eventually. We did well on Mara earlier this morning, right off the 10 level. So we'll cover that coming up in just a moment. PBLA, my scanners might glitch out here. It might delete the net percent change column. Just be on the lookout for that. PBLA to start, though. It's a cheapie. It's below $1, so we're not as particular about that to begin. If you jumped in early, hey, I'm rooting you on. It's made a hell of a run so far. It's up over 63%. Certainly, it could move up more percentage-wise once the market opens. It's not like overextended in that sense. Hell, we ended up seeing stocks the last week and a half, just yesterday, 140, 150% plus. So, you don't want to hold your breath waiting for it, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. SAI, you want to see us make higher lows or at least retain the lows there, roughly around 372. That was a nice level. I'd missed out from there, roughly around the VWAP. I was looking a little lower, like 365, but all right, another cheapie AVGR, pop and drop, flattened out there. I got a bunch of them here this morning. CMND, not much there. And we keep it moving, folks. Let's see what else we got, though, for right now. PACW, one of the bank stocks. So let's actually rewind this chart. I'll show level 4 for this one coming up in just a moment. It ended up making a nice drop with the FRC First Republic trade. This is the after hours. Ended up leading to a nice drop off at first in pre-market, then heading into the mid-morning. I ended up missing this here. This seemed like a really easy opportunity. I was waiting for this breakdown all throughout the early to mid-morning and just didn't get it. I take one look away, come back, and FRC just ended up getting clobbered at that very point, and that's what led to PACW and the other bank stocks to just fall off a cliff too. Look at that. So, that's where at least you could say, hey, if you hold your breath long enough, you're going to get what you want. We had better things to do throughout the late morning, early afternoon. So CXAI took our attention away, right? So I missed the initial drop on that PACW, but heading into the close yesterday, what's funny? The after hours activity here kind of dilutes what happened yesterday, regular hours. This looks like nothing compared to the, this was a great short though, heading into the market close. It ended up holding off of 1050, ended up pulling back. So it was good for about 25, 30 cents into the final minutes of the day. I wanted more on the trade, down to $10. Now the news out though, hey, what a pop-up that we got here in the after hours. So what I was ignorant of, and then I'm going to check right now actually with the here, if you don't mind, I'm going to check Benzinga Pro. Let's check to see what the news was. I was looking up the crypto stocks earlier. Here's my CXAI. All right, so it's kind of what I would be led to believe, unless if it was news out with FRC, but it was earnings related. So conveniently enough, they reported yesterday afternoon. I didn't know that. So their EPS beat, their sales missed. I don't know if they had issued guidance or any of that nature. Company also announced it took steps to maximize liquidity, including exploration of an asset sale. All right, so be on the lookout for that. Led to a great reaction from the street, though, from 1050 up to near 13. Still wiggling around right now a bit heading into the open, but we like the volatility. We've done really well on this PACW trade outside of yesterday. Just with the drop off here, it was shortable at first, so it was a really good short initially with the all the other bank stocks, obviously. FRC kind of skipping ahead to this one. We'd find it on the loser side. It's down over 13%. It's not nearly as strong as PACW and the other bank stocks, given the news that came out just from the end of last week. So I'll put this on our list because of the volatility, but I'm more interested in PACW long at first. If this ends up showing higher lows and a potential break over a level, then I'll look for it. But otherwise, PACW will kind of take the initial focus there. All right. So while I'm at it, I reckon I go through the other bank stocks, I guess. I got to do my job, right? KeyBank not doing much. Western Alliance not doing much. Don't force it, folks. So those are the two that we'll focus on, the FRC and the PACW. All right. So with that said, though, let's just go right from top to bottom now. We kind of just did already, and continue to, I should say. Went off on a slight tangent with the bank stocks there. CleanSpark, CLSK, not a bank stock, but an EV affiliated type of stock. CleanSpark, I think they're also crypto mining, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that's why they're even up a little bit right now with Mara and Riot. Led to a great pop, though, just after 8 o'clock Eastern, off $4. It's just flat, though, heading into the open. But given that it's at the highs, hopefully more eyes can catch on to this trade. It's up big already. I know the liquidity will fill in once the market opens for this trade. So we'll have a penny spread. We'll have that good tier size on level 2. So definitely a good stock that I want to follow up with here for the morning. All right, so let me ask, did anyone jump into the Mara trade earlier, or Riot? Mara or Riot? We all know that at this point that these are kind of in the same industry. They're sister stocks to each other. Did anyone jump in Mara or Riot when it was kind of moving up higher here, breaking over 10? It goes to what we talked about yesterday in Traders Talk, folks. So again, you got to be a member inside our trading room, but the re-breaks over 10, even this dumb 8 o'clock pop here just broke over it. So that kind of counts. So by the time it re-broke it later on here, I had jumped in. It was good timing perhaps, but I wasn't really intentful to trade pre-market really. Once I saw Mara begin to squeeze back up to the iceberg at 10, I was like, all right, you know what? I'll try it on half size. And then it ended up pushing back up a little bit. So, all right, let's try it a little bit more. From there, it pushed up. So I ended up getting out at 10.23 on the first half. I got out at 10.18, I think it was, on the second half. If it were to run up higher afterwards, it would have been unfortunate. But otherwise, there's a lot of ball left to play on any of these trades that we have on our watch list so far. Let it be CXAI or SAI or now Mara here. So I'll definitely re-add Mara. I'll re-add Riot right away as I just kind of do that quickly. Riot up just as much percentage-wise today. Normally one is more volatile than the other, like slightly, so one's better opportunity, but both are kind of right there hand in hand. So, it's kind of pick your weapon, as Fausto would say. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's Riot or Mara, just as long as they have clear, identifiable levels for you to work off of, and both do. So, just make sure you don't get too overwhelmed with too many stocks. That's really it. So let's keep going down the scanner, though. Otherwise, current time right now, 9:13. Want to make sure that we have enough time to prep up our levels. Good to go. Knocking on my notepad here. Hopefully my scanner doesn't glitch out on me like I was assuming. INAB, what a dump off this had, though, prior to 8 o'clock and afterwards. We did anticipate that, though. I mean, it was trending down off the highs going into the 8 o'clock move. One of our members here had asked about it, and I said, yeah, hey, I mean, if it could hold over 262 right there, then there's a chance. But if it breaks under 262, there's total reason to think a dump off. We wrote that in the chat board, right? Scroll up there and look what happened after. What was the end result? The reason I say it that way is, because we don't want you to get stuck in a situation where you're trading a stock going down, you're catching a falling knife, or you're trading a stock that we certainly don't have interest in. Like we blatantly were like, it's going to drop lower. So, hey, move on to another trade. If it ends up proving us wrong and it pushes back up, then we'll try and capitalize on it. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say it's trying to do that now off of $2. It had a big gap up from Friday last week, or rather, actually today, Wednesday, from Monday, just earlier this week, I should say, losing track of my days, then dumped back down yesterday. And then here we are today. So, it seems like it's just going to continue. It kind of feels like I'll put it on our main list in hopes of 2 holding as the bottom right now, or even 191, the close from yesterday. But wouldn't shock me if this just continues to break lower. So, it's liquid, it's tradable, all that good stuff. So I like it, but Mara, all the others so far definitely take higher billing. All right, now I will say there's a bunch of other crypto stocks that are up big. I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin right now. We're getting a small retracement back up, but I am not bullish on it right now. It's still under resistance to me after the last shakedown. So that I was expecting. And even from this point, a lot of folks I think are kind of confident of another higher high. I don't think that just yet. So FSR, Fisker, not a crypto stock. This is actually an EV stock as well. So pushed up early this morning in pre-market, flattened out since. But perhaps, like I'd said with the other one, more eyes can catch on to this trade after the open. Perhaps this does have some high short interest here. So FSR, Fisker, I'll put this back on our list here. We are pretty familiar with this one. All right, we keep it going. Building up a nice classic long Josh watch list. How about that? I feel like we are, at least. We got a lot of stocks on the gainer side, so we got to go through this with a fine-tooth comb. We are right around 5%, so we'll see what else is out there. Other AI stocks, SOUN, I have to check these out. We're really familiar with SOUN, BBAI as well. Those are other AI stocks. I didn't really look at them as much, just kind of looking at the others at first. So I'll put them on the side list right now. They're not really looking that great, to be transparent, but they're tradable. Oh, there's one more. There's one more I saw there. Just kind of refreshed on me, my scanner. How about Microsoft up over 7+% right now, just coming off the after hours, right, from earnings? So perhaps that overall is lifting up the market right now, but we'll take a look at a couple more other stocks within our price range, or, I mean, I mean, a little more within our price range than Microsoft. Coinbase, a little outside the price range, generally speaking, but it is up that 5+%. So if I'm putting Riot and Mara on our list, I'm actually going to be keen to put Coinbase on there. So for anyone that trades more expensive stocks, this definitely should be up your alley. For anyone that's going to do an option call on it, perhaps look for a pullback, try and buy the premium lower. XPEV flat, up a little bit, not doing too much. All right, folks, I'll tell you, we went through this pretty well here. I like what we got from the gainer side. If there's anything else looking good on the way up, type it in the chat board. Oh, there we go, Sam. Yeah, really quick. The one that I kind of just looked over pretty quickly, BFRG, Bullfrog AI. I saw it on the gainer side, but the chart looks bad. That's what I was thinking, Sam. But now that I look at the chart, no go. Well, I'll tell you what, though, we got to prioritize because we're getting a pop right now on a stock already on our list, folks, the SAI. So don't need to build out too big of a list. Don't need to try and like, oh, this is worth watching. This is worth watching right here. 43% rebroke above my 387 level. I just missed that pop. But if you were watching that price as we had typed in the chat board and said previously, then it looks like it broke over that level, made a pretty big move out the gate. So this has good reason to see 450, I think. Pretty big iceberg order on the ask at 450. I saw that from level 4 earlier. Whoops. There we go. About 21,000 shares, 22,000 shares. So the fact that rebroke 87 here, a very bullish sign. If anyone jumped in right at that point for a scalp, you're looking pretty good. When I say scalp, I wouldn't want you to hold into the market open, even if it were to pop higher after. I never look to hold trades going into the market open like that. So take the money and run. What do we have from the losers list here now? Probably not looking as good. EMPH, talk about a downtrend. That is extremely tradable given the trend. Obviously, the price aside, liquidity aside. You know, if you want to do an option put on that, perhaps offer a retracement up, like we'd said on the other one. Activision seemed to be said there. A lot of earnings, right? I think, I mean, just from the end of last week with all the bank stocks reporting, we started off earnings season now. So you're going to see a lot more name brand companies come out, especially next week with the FOMC Federal Reserve meeting. So with that, I know like big name stocks like NVIDIA, AMD in particular, reporting next week. Let's see what else we got here, folks. Not much else that I see from the losers list. So not bad. I think we got a good one here so far, folks. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Don't need to build up too big of a list here, folks. We're at 10. So if there's anything else, type it in the chat board. If there's anything else, let me know. And a housekeeping note at that from Ted, actually, before we part ways, one of our members inside our live trading room. Really quick, folks, we are continuing the phase 1 stock course today, Wednesday. But with that, though, we'll post the link in the chat board like closer to 10:30. We have a lot of trading to do first. So, we'll post that at least early in the morning, probably closer to like 10 o'clock, 10:15. Make sure that we're all prepped at least for our 10:30 phase 1 class. Now, additional housekeeping note, since Ted reminded me. Thank you, Ted. So phase 2, I had mentioned, would be beginning tomorrow. I said originally phase 2 would be beginning tomorrow. So there was a small little conflict in our C2 schedule. So it's going to be Friday, Monday, instead of tomorrow, Friday. It's going to be Friday, Monday. All right. So phase 1 today, Ted, finishing up. But then we'll begin the phase 2 course on Friday, and then we'll continue into Monday next week. All right. All good? Perfect, folks. So, I think that that's pretty much it. Not much else out there. Bill asking, I'm sorry, really quickly catching his chat here. Potential thoughts on a short on Zion, another bank stock. It is trading no volume, Bill. Let's focus on the ones that are trading a lot better volume here so far. The FRC, if you're able to get the shares, PACW. But even first, let's focus on just trend, right? So looks like FRC is dumping off. There you go. So looking for a short there. That's a good sign there. Perhaps if PACW holds under 12 or the opening bell print when the market opens, that could be a good sign for a short there. All right, folks. So for all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live, be a friend, tell a friend. Hey, just make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that being at youtube.com/cybertradingu. But otherwise, we'll catch you back at 2:30 Eastern. If you're interested in continuing the audio commentary, just go right down to the link on the green banner below the stream right there to get yourself set up, to get yourself started. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a quick email. Josh@c2trading.com is the handle, but we look forward to seeing you all there. For Bill, later, Ravina, Michael, Ted, Sam, and the 102 of us here live, I look forward to talking to you folks coming up soon. Take care.